Hey everyone, welcome back to my channel. So in today's video, this is going to be for anyone who's interested in Halloween Horror Nights. So if you don't know what this is, it's also called HHN. HHN is at both Universal Studios Orlando in Florida, as well as Universal Studios Hollywood in California. It is pretty much like one of the most premier Halloween events in the whole world, or at least in the country. It's super awesome. It can be pretty scary though, so it depends if you're going to want to bring your children or if you're going to want to go, depending on how much you like scary things. I did go to HHN. I'm going to link that video below. I'm also going to link when I went to Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, because that's kind of the counter. There's the really scary Universal one and the not so scary Disney one. I also did a video of if that's worth it. So I will link all three videos below. So go check them out. They'll give you a lot of information and you'll be able to see my experience at each of those events. So I think that's pretty cool. So what I want to do is I want to just go through, is Halloween Horror Nights Orlando worth it for a one-night ticket? Now they do offer other things. They have a frequent fear pass. It's $180. You do get 27 nights. That's a lot of nights. They do have another one that's a little bit more, and then they have one for all the nights for $325. That seems like a lot of money, but when you think about it, it's $85 for one night, $325 for every night. I mean, if you are able to go every night, I suggest it. I think that's worth it. But today's video is going to be just talking about the one night, if that's worth it to go for one night. But if you were looking into that multi-night thing, definitely it's super worth it if you're going to go for a good chunk of those nights. A few other extras they have is they have for $125, or I believe $130. It's an express pass. So if you're, a frequent Universal goer, you know that Express is basically like their version of Fast Pass or Lightning Lane, like Disney. You get to go on a quicker line. You can skip a lot of wait times. Instead of 60 minutes, maybe you wait 10. They do have that for the Halloween houses as well. So that can help you save a lot of time, but it's $130 additional. So you're looking at over $200 for one night then. Again, not gonna be a part of this video. The last additional thing is the RIP tours. Get it? RIP, VIP? That's what it is. It's a VIP tour where they take you to the front of the line of every house. They take you to every ride. There's special secret bars they take you to. Yes, you still have to pay for the drinks, but it's pretty cool. There's one on top of the Jimmy Fallon ride. That one looks awesome. If I can find a picture of it, I'll put it up here so you can see the view and how it looks. Definitely really cool. You also do get an all-you-can-eat buffet to start the night before you get into the houses and everything. Interesting choice to stuff yourself full of food before you get really scared, but it's pretty cool you get all that food. That's $300. So all that stuff can get pretty pricey. So that's why today for the worth it video, is this event worth it? We're sticking to one night ticket, no add-ons. All right, so we're gonna jump right on in then. So what are you getting when you go? At HHN, there's 10 haunted houses. They're usually split between, they'll do some based on Netflix shows and other top Halloween movies. Like Halloween, they have one pretty much every year based on the Halloween movies, like that film franchise. They usually do some with Netflix. This year they didn't, but they usually do. And then they'll do some new ones that they create the story for. Again, this video also is not just for the 2022 HHN. We're almost at Halloween. You might be thinking, why is this coming out now? Halloween season's almost over. That's because if you're watching this in 2023, 24, 25, whenever, this is going to kind of cover the global, is it worth it to go to the event generally at all? So that's why I'm not talking specifics about what they have, just what they have every year. So they have those 10 houses. They also have 5 scare zones scattered throughout the park. Those can be pretty scary too, because you might not be expecting someone and then they jump out. It can get pretty crazy. Even in between the scare zones, they'll have people with chainsaws, they'll have clowns hiding, so it can get pretty crazy. And then they do have 2 live shows. So one of the live shows is in the lagoon, so it's like a water show. And then the other one is in their big stadium that they have, which is in between Diagon Alley, Harry Potter, and Men in Black. So they do have, it used to be Fear Factor. So if you know where that is, if you don't, they'll have a huge sign that says, the show is right here. That's usually a dance, pyro, techno type of show. In the past, it's been really good. The show is worth it. They do have times scattered throughout, so you should be able to see that show in between houses when you're in that area. The Lagoon show is really cool because you don't have to wait. You can just see it anytime. When you're walking around, you'll see it going off. So that's pretty cool too. That doesn't take too much time to get to see that show. On top of what you get for Halloween specific stuff, if you're wondering about rides, you do get rides. Not every ride, so rides like E.T. and the Kid Zone, that's all not happening. That's where haunted house lines are, so you can't have two lines in the same spot. Rides like Rip Ride Rocket though and Transformers, you can do those and many others. Typically the waits are not too bad either because most people aren't there to do rides. So if you're someone who's like, one or two scary houses and then I'm tapped out, go on some rides and you can probably do all the rides there too. Harry Potter Gringotts is open and that ride is super fun. That does bring me to an unfortunate part. There is nothing special in the Harry Potter section. No Death Eaters like everyone wants. No HHN house back there. I'm pretty sure they still need everything to go through Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling. Oh, that's Maui doing that down there. I'm pretty sure they need everything to be approved by Warner Brothers and J.K. Rowling. And from what I know, as just somebody who is a theme park YouTuber and tries to stay up in the news, it's not too easy to get permission for these things. So they do have Gringotts open though, so that's really cool. And then I do want to talk also about the cost a little bit more. So for the one night, it's $85, but you got to pay to park. It's not free parking till after midnight on HHN days. Normally it's after like 6. Well, they know that HHN, you might wait until after 6. Nope. Free parking's after midnight. So that's another $25. After taxes and everything, you're looking at like $115, $120 to park and get in. And if you're thinking like, well, that stinks, I thought it was $85. If you look at the counterpart, Disney's like I talked about, that cheapest ticket is $100 without parking. And then that's gonna be like $125, $130. And a lot of those ones are $200. So, it's pretty cheap for what you're getting. If you do ask me, like I definitely think that it's a pretty solid price. Another thing I'm going to put a picture up now is the Tribute Store. It's like right across from it's in between Jimmy Fallon and Mummy Rides. And they decorate this whole huge building, like it's multiple rooms. It's got sick merchandise, really cool decor. And they actually have like a bakery section in it every year too. So really awesome stuff there. And the merch is pretty reasonable. If you watch the HHN video I post below, I talk about the merch they have there and it's pretty good pricing. So check that out if you want to see some of that pricing. And then if you hear that, that's Beauty now, who's now getting her turn in the spotlight. Other than merch, they do have some special food. So they'll have different things. Again, in the HHN video, you'll see they have some food, like I didn't try it. Seems a little strange, but it looks like a package of like raw meat. And it's edible. It's not actually raw meat. It just looks like it. It looks very interesting. But my favorite thing ever, I'm going to put a picture up here now too, pizza fries. They are so good. Sauce, cheese, sausage, pepperoni, so good. You can find these back by SpongeBob Store Pants by the kid area. There's to the right of that store, there's a like Woody Woodpecker Cafe. And these fries are unreal. They have a dessert version with like, I believe it's s'mores and like marshmallows. And I don't know fully what else because I just always get the pizza fries. But if I find that, I'll put a picture up of that one too. But yeah, that I call it a meal because it really is. That'll fill you for the whole night. It is so good. Blinds. Drinks are a little bit of a different story. I do not suggest getting the specialty drinks. If you want to and you're willing to spend the money, go for it. But it's going to be like $15 a drink, and it's just they're very watered down. And then, sorry, Beauty is trying to get in the shot here. And then all the drinks are really watered down, and they're not strong. They're very expensive. By the time you get to drink enough that it's worth it. Like by worth it, I mean like you're actually feeling the alcohol, which is like, I'm assuming the point of you wanting to drink at HHN, then you've already spent, $50. Whereas you can go to City Walk beforehand and go to Fat Tuesdays. If you don't know what that is, again, HHN video. You can go to Fat Tuesdays and spend like 10 to 20 bucks and get a frozen alcoholic drink with an extra shot, and you're good for a couple hours. And then go to the pub, little tip for you here, insider tip. Go to the pub, I believe it's called Flanagan's. If I'm wrong, let me know in the comments. But go to the pub, you get normal drinks like shots, mixed drinks, like Long Island iced teas for like pretty normal pricing, nothing like crazy. And you're gonna, feel the buzz quicker, stronger, and longer. And you're gonna save money instead of getting those specialty drinks. Speaking of City Walk and Fat Tuesdays, that's another benefit. You do get City Walk. So you get there's a lot of stores there, including Universal stores and like a Legacy store. You do get Fat Tuesdays as well as Margaritaville and other bars. If you're not into the food at HHN, but you wanna like get dinner beforehand or after, if it's open, they have tons of restaurants there. So a lot of really cool options at City Walk. But again, since we're just talking about HHN, I'm not going to include that in my final determination of if it's worth it. But that's pretty much everything, that you get there. You do get some other like small stuff in between. Like by that, I mean, when you first go in, there's the Pumpkin Lord who's sitting in his giant pumpkin and he'll greet everyone. That's not a show. It's not an attraction. It's not on any map, but it's there. So there's small things like that, little like photo ops you'll see here and there. They do have, I'll put another picture up. It's Mel's Drive-In, but for HHN, some of the letters blank out and it's Mel's Die-In. So that's really cool, but that diner's got some pretty good food. It's not like a real like diner food. It's still gonna be theme park food, but it's still, pretty good quality. Get off your feet for a little bit, get some AC. So all in all, spending about $120 after tax for parking and getting in, getting everything you get with the houses, the scare zones, the shows, the merch that you can get. At the end of the day, if you buy, let's say, a shirt, let's say you buy, a phone case, and let's say you buy some pizza fries, you're still going to be spending like under $250, which I believe is the maximum that the Halloween event at Disney costs. Like if you go on Halloween, it's $250 or $225. So for the cost of, just the event there, not even parking or anything, you can get in, you get parking, you get food, you get a couple merch items. That's a pretty good deal. And I definitely say it's worth it. If you haven't already gone to HHN, you 100% should. If you're wondering like what the atmosphere looks like, definitely, like I said, check out my HHN video because you'll see what the atmosphere is like. You can't film in the houses, unfortunately, unless you're like official media and you're invited to a special, filming event. But I show everything, all the streets, what it looks like. And then you can go check out some, I don't know if you know the Tim Tracker. A few years ago, he went in some of the houses and recorded. And if you want something more recent, there's plenty of others out there. So once again, it is definitely worth it. I also think Mickey's is worth it. But if you want to find out why, and there's a little bit to that, it's worth it, but it's not. If you want to find out why, go check out that video too. All right, so I really hope you guys enjoyed this video. I do have some interesting stuff coming up. I have some theme park stuff coming up, some videos you're going to want to look out for there. And then I also have a very interesting one coming your way. I mentioned it in previous videos, but Pokemon cards were like, or just Pokemon in general was the rage when I was really young. These cats are crazy. Pokemon was all the rage, and it's making like a strong comeback now. Like I showed in a previous video that I went to Hobby Lobby and they had them locked in like a glass cage. It was crazy. You couldn't even take them yourself because they're so like, everyone wants them. So I did get some Pokemon cards from a few different stores, and I'm going to open them up on camera with you guys and just see, what do we get? Where's the best place? How much did I pay? What's the best packs and where can you get them? So definitely stay tuned for that. That's going to be coming out in the next few days. But yeah, I really hope you enjoyed this video. Like, comment, share it with your friends and family. Hit that subscribe button if it's there or there. Wherever it is, just hit it. We are almost at 100. We're getting so close, literally just a couple more away. So please hit that subscribe button, hit the bell to be notified of all my future videos, and I'll see you in the next video.